Many Africans are eager to know how U.S. Africa relations will look during the second term of President-elect Donald Trump. There's uncertainty over the economic and political engagements with the continent, which some consider of low priority to the United States. For more on what Africa can expect during Donald Trump's second term, I'm joined live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania by Joseph Szlavik, a Republican strategic analyst. Mr. Szlavik, welcome again to Africa 54. Let's go straight to it. You have served at the White House during the first administration of Bush as a policy analyst in the National Security Council and also at the Office of Policy Development. How can the incoming Trump administration deepen ties with the continent on economic and security issues that actually top the concerns of most African countries?
Merry Christmas, Esther. How are you?
Good to see you.
Great to see you, too. Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I think leadership will play a major role for President Trump on the continent. As you know, there's a G20 being held in South Africa next summer. I think during this period, there will be some clarification from President Trump as to what the economic tangibles are, as to what security requirements are. I think issues like LGBT that have impacted Uganda and other countries of such sorts will obviously be removed, and a lot of those sanctions will be reversed. But I do think that they're going to be looking at critical strategic minerals, oil, economic development, and mostly tangibles, to say the least.
Joe, the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, in short, the renewal for that AGOA is actually up in 2025. And the question we hear from Africans is, will President-elect Donald Trump have this renewed so that we can continue that partnership where the U.S. and Africa, share goods and services?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a misnomer as to what happened to AGOA. If you really look at what happened to AGOA under the, Biden administration and quasi-Republican Congress, the failure this time around for AGOA was that there was not a clean bill sent. So Catherine Tai, who was his current trade rep for President Biden, they sent an AGOA bill that was amended with a lot of labor requirements and labor regulations. And this is why the bill was rejected. I'm very, very confident if the AGOA bill is sent clean back to the Republican Senate and Republican Congress, I think that it should pass. There may be some difficulties as trade and whatnot is being looked at. But if the bill is clean, like the original version of AGOA, the bill will pass. But in the current form, the Republicans won't vote for it because there's too many labor regulations. So I do believe that if the original AGOA bill is presented again, I believe that it will pass under President Trump.
Well, now, what kind of partnership should Africa expect during President-elect Donald Trump's second term? And is he likely to visit the continent? Which country of Africa will he probably visit first and maybe go even on safari?
That's a great point. I know Don Jr., his son, likes to go to Africa a good bit, holiday and do safari and hunting. Look, I think if all goes well, President Trump should attend G20. Now, of course, the South African government has made some kind of egregious statements. There has been probably an over-friendliness towards Russia vis-a-vis South Africa, and the new South African ambassador probably had some pretty harsh words to say about President Trump. But that being said, I think President Trump visits South Africa during the G20 this summer, and possibly after G20, he may stop in the summer. I do know that this Congress, and at least the Republican House side, they voted to fund the U.S. Africa summit. So there's a pretty good possibility that the U.S. Africa summit will take place during President Trump's term in the United States. So I think there's going to be some positivity. And I think that looking at projects like the Lobito Corridor, critical and strategic minerals will be a priority for the president.
Well, Joe, you've had opportunities to meet with President Trump. You've had him talk. And I'm curious, like many Africans, what his view of the continent is. Does he share some sort of highlights about Africa or anything that you can tell us about?
Yeah, no, I think President Trump is very fond of Africa. I know that in his first term, he had a very good relationship with Uhuru Kenyatta, the president of Kenya. They actually had a very personal liking. As you know, with President Trump, it's all an issue of personality and personal relationships. And I think for the African leaders that are willing to be bold and confident and to be forthright with President Trump, I think there's going to be a lot of traction. So I think for those presidents on the continent who are prepared to be honest and bold and forthright with the president, I think if there's good chemistry, I think a lot can be done.